based on the last three cycles, roughly, you've got March of 2025 being a potential top and or October of 2025. Bear market low, roughly speaking, is about October 2026. So do what you will with that information.
All right, y'all. Today I am joined by Anthony, also known as Mongo. He is a trader and he's also a member of the Casper crew. And I'm very excited to sit down and talk to him because he has some deep insights into the 4-year Bitcoin cycle. And I follow him on Twitter, on X, Anthony Zaroli, BlockGuard. I'm going to leave a link to his YouTube and Twitter in the description. And he always has the most interesting updates. I follow them actually quite often to see if his analysis lines up with mine. So thank you so much, bro, for coming on to the channel. I appreciate having you.
Thank you for having me. It's been talking forever on Discord, but haven't actually been face to face. So this is a pleasure. The pleasure's all mine.
Yeah, bro, it's really cool to finally sit down and talk. So I did want to ask you, first of all, how long have you been trading and what led you down this road?
I've been doing this for, let's see, 2019 is when I got into crypto, basically.
Hmm.
And I didn't even touch leverage trading until probably 3 years ago. Um, I was quite successful in 2020 and 2021 with just spot trading. So I think during that time frame, I got in Aave super early and was able to trade my way to like a 400% return on Aave, which is spot, which was pretty crazy. Um,
Was that during like that
so yeah,
DeFi
that's another thing.
season?
That was the DeFi boom. Yeah, that's when Uniswap was brand new.
Hmm. I remember those days,
Yeah,
man.
so those of us that are in the Discord. If you know Thor, we talk about all the time that if you're new to crypto and new to leverage, you may want to just start with spot trading. It's a nice way to get an idea and feel the market. You're not having to worry about liquidations, stop losses. We can get into that later, but yeah.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. They do the journey with the spot trading and all that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so about roughly 6 years to all in. I have a knack for education. My background is more or less in sports medicine, but I have a knack for explaining things. So that's where the TA I've kind of found some success with in terms of finding a pattern. I'm really good with pattern recognition. It's why I think that the 4-year cycle, which I've mapped out on my X account and I've shared with the Casper crew in the Discord, is the most reliable. Price predictions are tough. I still like fibs, just like you do. But if you take just to give you a quick synopsis, basically you've got two potential options based on the last three cycles, roughly. You've got March of 2025 being a potential top and or October of 2025. Depends on if you have an extended cycle or not. And then lastly, you've got bear market low, roughly speaking, is about October 2026. So do what you will with that information. Where the price goes is to be seen.
Yeah.
And then the last bit is pretty much fibs. You got the 1618, roughly about, depends on how you draw it, 102,000 and the 2618's like at 155. So I've taken a gander of making my conservative guess of 135 is the Bitcoin top. So this is a real simple, well, this isn't simple. This is taking a while for me to map up. Basically, this is the BLX chart, which is the Bitcoin from its inception. There's no dinosaur here, but what I've done is I've taken deductions from the previous cycles and mapped them out to give an estimation and or projection for this current cycle. So you've got diminishing returns as we've gone along this entire time. Again, this is on the monthly. You've got the solid green lines as the peaks of the previous cycles. There's two in this one because depends on who you talk to. The lot of indicators pointed that the March 2021 was the real top, the pi cycle indicator, and about a dozen other ones popped off at that point in time. But we still had a drawdown and an actual all-time high put in back in November of 2021. So when I give you two dates, that's why. I have this one drawn up as the real all-time high, and that gives you an estimation date of March of 2025. And then you've got this guy down here. I call it the Scamwick all-time high. That's when the ETFs came in. They weren't the spot ETFs, but they were the first US rendition. And that's literally the day that came in is the day they dumped. So the downtrend started during that point in time. And that gives you an October, roughly speaking, of 2025 as that potential top. So really, anytime in that range is where I'm looking for indications and other indicators that you and I talk about all the time in the Casper Discord about looking for signs of overextension. Is this it? Down here, you can see market Cipher B is actually getting ready to pump, in my opinion. You've got tight RSIs. You've got a trigger wave here coming in, or potential, excuse me, not a trigger wave. You got the VWAP coming up with the zero line. Money flows pointing up. If you look at it versus the last time this happened, the RSIs were completely different. So this isn't a fake out. This is more of a continuation pattern.
Hmm.
And then, not to show myself, but I programmed another indicator here. You can look up it. It's Mongo Pro Trader. I could talk about that later. But basically, a lot of the it's above all the moving averages, including the 9 on the monthly. And as you can see, it's bounced quite nicely. And then we're back above literally everything at this point in time. So we could
Interesting,
zoom in
bro.
and we can talk about it, but I'm in the same thing as you. Like on the 1 hour and down, I'm looking for potential back test of the weekly VWAP and the 50 EMA. That 70,900 range is kind of where I was looking for, hopefully a back test. But we may pump from here. Who knows?
Yeah, who knows,
But yeah,
right?
that's just my general gist on the macro cycle. It's
So
about as simple as I can make it without getting
so
super
you're
nerdy.
looking for a big breakout. Yeah, why don't you zoom in and explain all this stuff you're looking at, bro? Because this is all this stuff is your indicator, huh? Like all this stuff on the chart,
No, 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 no. Well,
just the
I
buy and
shouldn't say
sell.
all that. So the buy and sell is the bigger part of it. Yeah, I programmed that. Plus, it's incorporating the most of the. I will say some of the other Discord members turned me on to some different EMAs that worked well. I'll give a shout out to Jazza's one and a couple other guys that have really turned me on to certain EMAs on certain time frames that really work well. So the blue is the 9 EMA. You got the red here at the 20. So I like to scalp off of that on the 1 minute. It really does well with market Cipher B in general, plus money flow. The 50 here is in green. The 100's down here in this orange color. And because it's the monthly, the 200 smooth moving average doesn't even show up. So let me jump down to the weekly here for you and kind of get an idea. I think this only, yeah, we can do it with the weekly. Yeah, so it also does bring into the yearly VWAP, monthly and weekly VWAPs as well, plus the daily. But here on the larger time frames, you're not really seeing the daily. It's kind of the blue dot. But on smaller time frames, you can see that. Um, Similar to what you would. I draw my ranges very similar to what you would. Myself or Thor in the Discord can debate on whether you do candle body closes or wicks. This one's based on wicks, so I've done wick high to wick low, and that's where this range was pulled from.
Nice, man. So
Dotted
we're
dotted lines you got. Sorry, go ahead.
I just wanted to ask you, I guess, like no, you could tell us what the dotted lines mean, but then I want to ask you
Yeah,
how.
go ahead. No, no, I was just going to make the point of the fact that the dotted lines might zoom back out are just the halvings. So you've got also a representation, and also it's nearly perfect. So the dotted lines, if I zoom back out to the monthly, you'll see this from the halving to my projected dotted line was the projected uptrend. And look at that. I
Wow,
mean, that's
that's perfect, you know?
it's almost to the day. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's crazy. But yeah, go ahead. Sorry, I'm rambling.
I just wanted to know, what do you think the rest of 2024 is going to look like? Do you think, we've got an election coming up in about, I guess, less than a week now, right? Or about a week?
Yeah, it's Tuesday. Yeah, yeah.
That's crazy. So,
I think it's priced in, to be honest with you. I think yes, if Trump wins, you'll have maybe a 40% more of a move on both crypto and stocks.
hmm,
If Trump loses, I think you're going to see a potentially small sell-off, but I think the next 12 to 18 months is up for the stock market, and I think Bitcoin will continue its cycle like it's always done. There's a couple other indicators that have come out that have shown that the every election in history has had 12 to 18 months up
yeah.
outside of Barack Obama's 2008 election cycle. So, but that was also it was a
Did you
funky time
post that?
frame.
I
You
saw
had
that on Twitter. Did you post that or did someone else?
yeah, I did post that. I posted about that, but it wasn't. I can't take credit for me. I didn't come up with that information, but
That's
someone
so
else came up
interesting.
with that and I shared it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
super
so
interesting.
yeah, regardless, I think Trump is better for a lot of things. I'd like to see Gary Gensler fired. He's stifling American innovation. Being myself, an American entrepreneur, two companies. One of them's a blockchain company. They're slowing down regulation. You really can't do much of anything in the blockchain space in the US right now until we have some regulatory guidance. So I won't get into that nerdy, boring stuff, but it's kind of frustrating to be honest with you.
Yeah, I believe it. So I have to ask you, who do you think is going to win?
2 years ago, I said Trump, and I
Two
still
years
believe that.
ago? Okay.
Yep.
Time will tell. Time will tell. I have no idea, to
Hey,
be honest with you. Like, I thought he was going to win last time, you know?
it depends on who you talk to if you're actually won or not. So that's a whole nother rabbit hole.
I know. I my personal theory is that all the elections are fixed. So they decide who wins and who loses. Um, I think there's
Yeah,
a lot of evidence to show
there's
that
some,
that's
yes, a lot of evidence showing that's true. Absolutely.
so, I was surprised when Trump didn't win. And so now, because of the fact that I believe that, it's decided in advance who wins and who loses, now I'm trying to like think of the whoever's making that decision, they're the market maker. And I'm trying to think, all right, what's going to wreck the most people? They're trying to like wreck the most people possible, just like destroy this country as much as they possibly can. So, you know, um,
Or they did that to awaken people. That's the other possible solution is they did
that
that to
is
have
true.
another 4 more years of the Biden-Harris Democratic rule to show you how crappy the inner cities have gotten and how bad it is without Trump. So, yeah, there's a double-edged sword there for sure.
Yeah, I like yours better. It's more optimistic. It's more optimistic.
I I will say everything about my life was better last time Trump was in office. So from financial, from taxes to yeah, everything.
Yeah, taxes, that's for sure. That's for sure. Yeah, definitely Trump is better for business owners, entrepreneurs, and traders for sure.
Yeah, so why don't you give us your take? I know you do a lot of micro analysis. What do you see here? I mean, look at this chart I've got here for just market Cipher V. I mean, you can't tell me you don't like where the VWAP and the money flow is pointing right now.
I like where everything is right now. You know, when I look at the monthly, it looks really nice. I just I don't know what's going to happen within the next few weeks leading up to the new year. I could see us getting a boring range, drip to the downside, get everybody bored again, because that's what Bitcoin's literally been doing for the past 8 months, right? We get these big rallies, then we get these slow, painful ranges. We've had a few like massive drops, but in general, looking at this range, we've you know pretty much we've stayed between 60K and about 70K. So like we get these slow, boring times. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see a little bit more downside to back test 69.5, and it takes a really long time to get there. Um, but at the same time, I wouldn't be surprised if we just break out. I literally didn't answer your question, but
No, no, no. But yeah, I'm thinking a potential range here until worst
yeah,
case Saturday, then it pumps. So
yeah, potential
um,
range. And I wouldn't
look
discount
at
either taking the highs and then coming back down to range more. Like get everybody not faked out, but we hit like
traps on
74.
bottom shorts. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. We hit 74, 75, and then we just come back into the range, and then we back test, 70K. And in my opinion, that's a healthier move anyway. Like to take the high, get a swing failure pattern, and then back test and then breakout. That's a much healthier breakout than just going straight forward. But, we
Yeah.
got that breakout
Agreed.
in January, and we got that breakout in last September that just never came back to test. So time will tell.
It was funny. I was expecting it down here on this wick to actually come back and test the VWAP, the weekly VWAP at 7,500, and it just kept going. So, and on the four
Me
hour here, you've
too.
got two long wicks. So,
Me too.
um,
That Friday
interesting.
night, bro. I was pissed. I was
Yep.
like, what the
Yep.
heck? Like I was waiting for lower. And I saw that because I did end up getting in a long trade that got stopped out by that second wick, that higher low. And I thought for certain we were
Ah,
gonna take that wick. Um, but no, we never did.
You know what this price action reminds me of? Think back to May. Remember when everyone was shorting every single high and it just kept squeezing everybody? So this feels like that. Let me zoom back out a little bit. I feel like May was that way. It was just like I was at the blockchain summit in Washington, D.C., and I'm sitting here watching the chart and people are just shorting and it just kept squeezing and kept squeezing and kept squeezing. Let me see if I could find that.
I see what you're looking at here.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
we were down here and they're like, oh yeah, we're gonna short it lower, and then it just kept going.
I
I think it
think
was this day. It was this day where it was what we went from 61,000 up to your head's in the way. I can't see it. Like 65,000, something like that. So we were like a $4,000 daily candle. Everyone's trying to short it. It was interesting.
this is interesting. I was so bullish that I'm pretty sure I was calling for all-time highs when we
Yeah, but now
reclaimed the
retrospect looking at it, you had a McDonald's there, so it's kind of like, but this is
yeah,
on a daily chart, so it's kind of hard to see.
yeah.
Um, Also, historically, another trader has pointed out that we have a parabola that's been perfectly playing out
Forming right here.
uh, in general. So let's just pull a curve. You just go from the bottom. This curve here just nearly fits quite well. Maybe not. Maybe do I have this on? We do the auto. Sorry, let me get rid of that for a second.
It's okay.
I keep forgetting how much log messes things up if you don't have auto on sometimes. It just skews things. Let me delete some of that for you. Um, but no, you've got basically a parabola which has five stops. I guess it doesn't fit too perfectly, but they were making it fit. But basically, we've been up the entire time. It's fit the parabola well, so I can't pull the way that his chart pulled it, but um, it's true. Even if you draw a straight line, we've been holding. Look how steep that is. If you saw something like that on another chart, you would expect that to break down, but it's holding up well.
I mean, honestly, it looks like a really nice range that's ready to break out. Like we made that low on August 5th, we made a higher low. We've been making higher lows and higher highs this whole time. It looks like we're ready to break out. You know?
This is an accumulation schematic number one from Wyckoff, really, if you look at it that way. It's nearly perfect. It's kind of funky. You had your spring, you had a back test, and then it's been stair-stepping its way up. The next move is the breakout of the all-time high, back test the old high, and then continue. So
So what
will
makes
that
you say
happen?
135 like as your target? That's a fib extension?
Yeah, so it's a fib extension. Let me let's just pull from this high. Just pull this thing up. There's 102 at the 1618, and then up here at the 156.
Hmm.
So I'm just guessing. I mean, that's a total. And I've done other things from like bull flag extensions and other. If you do like the falling channel distribution breakout, that gives you like 93. So there's other stuff. If you do this entire flag from this pole to this pole, it's like roughly. And I've had good success before learning TA, and I will give you and Crypto Face a lot of credit for even getting me interested in this stuff years ago.
Wow, look at that.
But I mean, look at that. That's from the bottom. But if you do the breakout target, you're up here at Kathy Wood's time frame. Move your face so I can see it. That's up at 206. I kind of be honest with you, I'm very conservative because I
Yeah,
know things overextend. But with diminishing returns, I really don't think that's possible. But also,
yeah.
that's before we had ETFs, right? So ETFs can make a big difference in that. And we've had a huge inflow this week. Um, so that's potentially something as well. But if
That
you
would
want
be
to be
insane.
super realistic, pull another, just do the pretty much the falling channel, right? So we did the falling channel breakout. We'll do that one. And we'll just estimate that and then just pull a top to bottom. You could do it this way. There's a dozen ways to draw these stupid things, but So near term, looking at 87,000 is a realistic breakout. What happens there, we'll see. It continues just to run after short squeezes. It's possible. You could also do a um, bull flag from here. Do that flagpole. That flagpole comes up to, roughly speaking, 120,
Yeah.
127, around at 128. So that's another one.
Yeah. I kind of
And
don't see
then
us
the
going
boot,
higher than 120. In fact, I
yeah,
wouldn't even be
I'm right
surprised
there with
if,
you.
you know,
Yep. That's why I was just saying 135 is kind of like 60% of the way to the 2618. So
yeah.
if I went back to my BLX chart, I'll show you that I have I have a short-changed one here. I have 91,000 for us to get absolutely host. So if we get host by governments, that's kind of my rejection point.
Hmm.
And that's also based off of another theory called the 5.2, I think it's called. It's the diminishing returns and just doing
Yeah.
a calculation.
Hmm.
That gives you a range of 78,000 to 92,000 as an actual potential rejection point just based off of
Yeah.
the diminishing returns. So
Yeah, I'm
that's
familiar with
not
that.
TA, that's just calculations.
Yeah, it's interesting stuff to think about. So, bro, where can people find you on social media, on YouTube and Twitter,
Yeah.
X, I guess?
Yeah, I keep calling it Twitter too. It's crypto black at crypto blackwall is the Twitter handle or X handle. And then I'll drop a link. It's Crypto Talk, just doing daily videos of just TA.
All right, bro. So, anything else you want to say to the ladies and gentlemen out there in the crypto world?
Yeah, we'll be releasing. I'll give you a last sales pitch for our company. So BlockGuard's releasing a layer one in Q1 of next year. Focus on security and 2FA built into the actual contract. Fusio, the hat I'm wearing, is basically to dummy it down a DEX, but it's going to have the ability to have hosting index funds, buy, sell, and trade your index funds on the actual Fusio DApp, on ramp, off ramp, fiat currency. Your index funds get wrapped up into a tokenized NFT, so you can buy, sell, and trade the NFT on OpenSea. Our entire intent with Fusio is to make it so easy your grandmother can do it because we want it to be safe
Nice.
and easy for onboarding of new users that have no
Do
idea
you
what
have, do you have a website
cryptocurrency
you could
is. And
show us?
because, yeah, uh,
Yeah, let's pull it up, man.
sorry. So BlockGuard, this is getting a refresh too. It looks much better on the new update, but it's coming. Fusio, you jump over from Fusio. You make sure I am in the right country. I think I am. Unfortunately, Fusio, due to U.S. regulations, we are geo-blocking U.S. residents. So I have not financial advice, but I have a VPN that puts me in a different country. Sure, legal would have a cow if I said that, but it's okay. So basically, this is going to be where you're going to be able to buy, sell, and trade your actual DApps and also portfolios on here. Let me sign into a wallet for you. So this is an example of a fund that I put together with three different funds. So it allows you to have literally every freaking chain available to you on one centralized exchange, but it's also self-custody by yourself. So I hate using the word centralized, but it is centralized in the fact that you can come to one place. You can get Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana all on one spot. It's all managed. It gives you a price chart. It has all the allocations for those assets, including things like meme coins, AI. Um, and then if you wanted to kind of shop around other portfolios, you can do that too. Move this away. So you explore. So we've got people like Crypto Face on board to
Nice.
kind of do a couple things along with Crypto Sensei. But believe it or not, everyone thinks Crypto Face is a degen, but he's probably the most conservative fund on here. He has 60% allocation to Bitcoin and then Pepe.
Nice.
And then he's the only one that I've seen that actually has 10% of his allocation in a stable coin. So I think people don't quite understand how conservative people like that really are in real life. So it's interesting.
Yeah,
But there's other
Crypto
stuff
Face,
like the
he's
real
an
world
entertainer,
assets.
but
Yeah,
he's
he's
a
absolutely
real smart guy. I mean, he's a very shrewd businessman, and he's
correct.
good with
He's
money.
funny how that works, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely. So this is the outdated version. There's a much sexier version coming in about 2 to 3 weeks. It's going to have almost like a social fi aspect to it. So someone like yourself could have a Jason Casper version on here that literally has almost like a Discord slash Facebook kind of feel to the bottom where you could do your video post, your media posts, you could do your Medium articles, anything you wrote, it can be posted on there too. Um, this wasn't meant to be pitched like that, so I wasn't going to bring all that stuff up, but it just is just the general gist of what we're working on. Again, to kind of bring the ability for someone to buy a ton of assets in one spot with no education. And if you
Nice.
don't know anything, come over here and you go into Explore and you find someone you trust that has the allocations that you like. So if you don't know what you're doing, come over here, either Crypto Sensei, he's got a big thing in Toncoin and Solana and AVAX, or you go over to CryptoFace. So that's us in a nutshell.
That's really cool, man. That's really
Yeah.
cool.
It'll be prettier and sexier in about a month, so give us some time. Well, this is just more or less the beta.
Nice. So everyone go check it out. And if you have a grandma, tell her to go check it out.
Hey, my mother's my guinea pig. She's 77, so I'm testing this on real grandmas.
Nice. Nice, bro. All right, man. Well, appreciate you having coming on the channel. Everyone, make sure to go
Yeah, I
check
appreciate
out
you, bro.
Mongo, aka Anthony, aka Crypto Talk on YouTube, Twitter, and yeah, check out BlockGuard. That being
Thanks,
said,
bro. Appreciate it.
yeah. All right, bro. Take care, man.
Pleasure.
All right.